What up, everybody? Back again. Rod J here. Welcome to the channel. Kind of switching it up for 2017. So this year we're actually going to be doing some different weekly shows covering some of the weekly beer news taking place. And of course, I got my panel of cohorts, my all-stars. You got to have the all-stars on the panel. So in the New England area,
we got Thomas Metal 75. My name is Eric. I run the Massachusetts Beer Reviews channel of YouTube. And I am located in southeastern Massachusetts along the Rhode Island border.
Nice, nice. And down in Mobile, Alabama, we got...
Good evening. My name is Jean Henderson Pierre. In the Beer Ramble. You could catch my page. Type in Jean, Jean, period, and then Pierre, Pierre. The Beer Ramble. And I share a lot of my beer reviews on Facebook, on several beer groups on Facebook. I am originally from New Jersey and lived in Mobile now. Will be 11 years come March of 2017.
Nice, nice. And welcome, guys, welcome. So obviously you're on my channel, so you already know Rod J BeerVentures. But if you want to find out more stuff happening, you can hit me up on the website at www.rodjbeerventures.com. And on that site, all the different links you can connect in with me, but a lot of beer news, beer reviews, different stories with different breweries, a whole bunch of stuff happening. So feel free to check that out as well. First thing to take a look at, like I said, we're mixing it up for this year. So we figure we would kind of go to like a weekly, maybe I would say like a news type program, but the news is so tainted nowadays. I don't want to use the news word, even though I hold a journalism degree. It's kind of got me down a little bit because you don't know what to believe anymore out there.
No Fox News.
Right, no Fox News.
No fair and balance.
Fox News people are jumping to MSNBC or NBC, and everybody's kind of making this shuffle.
None of that Glenn Beck crap.
So things are kind of crazy, but we wanted to mix it up a little bit different. So before we get rolling on some stuff, I will actually be starting off with the beer here. It's the Omnipollo edition, and it is their table beer, and it is an American Pale Ale. Comes in at 5% ABV. Ended up picking up this nice 22-ounce bottle. I told Eric earlier, caught it a deal, wasn't expecting it. They had it on the shelf for $4.99, so I grabbed two. And this one is supposed to have some pretty good notoriety around it. I'm not going to get into reading the label or anything like that, but the Untapped average score is 3.76 off of 1381 in ratings, and usually a 3.7 or higher is actually not a bad score on Untapped. So looking forward to see how this baby tastes. And if you guys want to talk about the beer you're going to be drinking to start off.
Go ahead, Eric.
Sure. Trying a beer I haven't tried before. Our other panelist that's not here at the moment, Dave gave one of the ideas that we could do for a topic, and I went with it this week. It's a new year, let me try a new beer that I haven't tried before, and that one is the Eugene Porter. The Eugene, there it is, Eugene Porter from Revolution Brewing in Chicago, Illinois. Now, they say on their website, it's named after Eugene V. Debs, a American Union leader and activist who led the Pullman Railroad strike in 1894. It's a 6.8% alcohol by volume, robust porter at 28%. And the cool thing about this beer is it uses an assortment of Belgian specialty malts.
Ooh,
so pretty cool.
Well, that sounds interesting.
Different take on it, yeah.
Nice. So what about you, John? What you got down there to start out with?
Nothing special really tonight, folks. I've been drinking. Hold on, I got my beer. Something old school, came out in 1960, and of course, Genesee.
There you go.
Great beer right there.
John, did you mean to mute yourself?
You're muted,
There you
John.
go. So a little Genesee action taking place.
Yes.
It's weird. The only Genesee beer I get here is Genesee Ice for some reason.
Oh, you just got muted again, John.
What are you doing, John? You're muting yourself. There you go.
I don't know. My computer's acting crazy for some odd reason. I don't know why.
Keep your hands
What's
away.
going on in Mobile? You're on again.
Oh, you're muted again.
There you go.
Nope, now you're not.
Okay. How about now?
Now you're good.
You're good.
See this? I need to take this. I need to shoot this thing. Take it outside.
Is this a new computer?
Oh, you're muted.
Is this a new?
Oh.
No, yep.
I don't know. I don't know what's going
Wow.
on. It's just doing this for whatever the reason. I can't figure this out. So
Are you sure the wife?
I think the problem is it's the terrorists from Russia. They're hacking your computer base. Oh.
maybe.
Were you out there? Clinton supporter. They got you, hon. They found you on that file. They said would have hacked your computer.
Okay. How about now? Can
Anthony
you hear me
Weiner
now?
server. Yes.
Okay. I'm
Yeah.
drinking Genesee Cream Ale. Came out in 1960. We got this beer. Arrived here in 2014. It arrived here in the Gulf Coast region. I had this when I was up in Jersey. Only one time. Never had it again. I thought it was a very pretty good beer. And right now I've seen it at 3 places for a 30 pack for about $16.39. I know it may be viewed as trash beer, whatever, but it's for a price point, it's pretty good. $16.39 for a 30 pack. That's pretty good for a Genesee Cream Ale.
Yeah, it's about $12.99 in New England for a 30 rack.
So yeah, and the people I gave this to said, wow, this is an awesome beer. What is this? It's called Genesee Cream Ale. I've had this before, but this state, unfortunately, we're late to a lot of things. And I mean, it was only maybe 7, maybe 6 years ago. We're going to take that back 5 years ago. Yeah, we finally got 25-ounce cans of beer in this state. So yeah, exactly.
Wow.
Where it was only 16 ounce they were selling here. So the wonderful legislator of the legislative staff up in Montgomery, how they are. Everything is biblical. So nothing against those religious folks, but it is what it is. So
Johnson.
They created beer in 6 days. Come on now.
Yeah, and by the way, a friend of mine told me today. He said, "You know what, Gene? Stop saying that reference. It is what it is. Just say, I don't know."
Are you going by Gene or are you going by John now?
Just call me Gene, guys. I don't care. Gene or Jean, I'll take whatever.
You want to be French or you want to be American?
Just call him Jay. That'll confuse him.
Mr. G, Mr. J.
Mr. J.
And then also coming in through the back door.
How you doing, Dan?
We have our man in Canada to get on here and introduce himself before we start getting into some of the topics of the week. But go ahead, mister. You made it. I know you were crazy up there with the snow and people were trying to get the salt earlier.
Oh, well, that's the neighboring province, so I don't have to worry about that. This is what happens when you find BCites going, oh my God, we have no salt. What do we do? Hey, we got free salt. Let's dive for it. I swear the words crazy cannot come in handy at times.
Dan, where do you live again?
I actually live in Alberta. I live in Calgary,
Okay.
Alberta.
All right.
However, it's just as crazy here. It's snowing, and that took me 55 minutes to get home when it normally takes me 25.
Ooh.
So,
I need somebody to ship me some Molson XXX, man. I really want to get my hands on that beer.
You trying to get in time for the XXX movie?
I don't think they sell that in Canada, actually.
Molson XXX, they don't sell it anymore in Canada?
I don't think it's in Canada.
No.
Just in.
That's called Molson Canadian because it's only 5%, where it's XXX there when it's 5%.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, tell us about your channel, Dan, and what you're going to be starting out drinking here.
All right. Well, as you know, I'm Dan, otherwise known as PK from boozereviews.ca. My second week back in a row. I tell you, I know it's amazing. Tonight, I'm going to look at something from Microbrasserie Brewing Company. Le Castro Brewing Company.
You have to spell that, sir.
There. Read it and weep. I ain't spelling that. It's a Yakima IPA, and it comes in at 75 IBUs and 6.5% alcohol by volume.
Nice.
And, oh, good. I was going to say I can't read the crap out of this because it's all in French, but I look down there. So, There's food pairings with it, spicy foods, barbecue, carrot cake, and fried chicken. So it's be good for you down southerners.
Carrot cake. Wow.
Thanks, Dan.
You will be.
Isn't everybody in America a down southerner for you though?
Yeah, that could be the case. Oh shit.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. It's like a Belgian beer, just flies off the top.
Yep.
I tell you what, this table beer has a lot of freaking head. It's foamy. It's hanging in there now.
That looks like
But-
dishwater still.
I'm thankfully it did not spill on me. I actually made it in the glass, so.
Well, you got a similar head to Rajay there, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're not gonna make any big comments now.
We're not gonna make any comments about anything right now.
Hey.
But looking back over the last week, do you guys remember this guy?
Hey.
Hold on. Technical difficulties.
I don't remember the silent guy.
Well, what I was going to do, doesn't look like it's going to let me do. Oh, I know what I'll do here. There we go. Hold on 1 second. Talks amongst yourselves.
Let's see. What can I say? What would I say to myself? Oh yeah, go Canada, go.
You're my top hat, Canada.
And you're underwear, America.
Oh no! In New Jersey's the penis. Oh, sorry, John.
Oh!
Bump, bump, bump.
Florida.
Particularly East Rutherford, New Jersey.
Okay.
All right.
Off
Where
Route
all those
3.
giants play.
Off Route 3.
You know what? Everything that freaking Google owns like turns to crap when they try to put it on the YouTube stuff. Anyway,
I guess.
I was going to bring up an old throwback, which Eric heard earlier. Rick Astley. You know,
Never gonna give you up.
Never going to give you up guy. The redhead.
Never gonna give you up.
There you go. Knock it out there, G. Knock it out, son.
Hey, it's Erica Lyons.
Whoa. What happened, dog? We're supposed to get feedback tomorrow on what happened tonight. Well,
She dipped him. She ditched him. She dipped him, right?
I mean, I don't want to say you a minute man or anything, but you got here pretty quick. Go to introduce yourself, Eric.
What's up, YouTube?
And for y'all, all those out there, Eric was supposed to have a date tonight, so I'm poking some fun at him.
Hey guys, I'm Eric Lions fan. I do beer reviews. I do Detroit Lions, Detroit Tigers reviews. I'm on YouTube. Look me up, Eric Lions fan.
All right, what are you drinking tonight?
Blackout Imperial Stout by Great Lakes.
Nice way to go.
All right.
So we were getting into some of the weekly beer news, and I was about to put a clip on, but it didn't work because the YouTube app never works on here.
Mm-hmm.
But I was talking about Rick Astley, and Gene was giving us a nice little rendition on the Never Gonna Give You Up. So he's coming out with his own beer, which is kind of interesting. That was released this week. And I put a little joke on my Facebook page, like the Never Gonna Give You Up ale. And Gene said it might be a light type beer, and I said well, maybe it'll be in a red amber. You know, he's a redhead, so. But
Never gonna give you up, Imperial Stout.
But then you start thinking, you know, if there was an artist out there to make a beer, what kind of beer would you like? What artist would you put on it? Like, if I said it was like Jay-Z, he made a Hard Hops Life or something, you know, what would you like to?
He would have he would have a 50-50. It would be a 20. There would be a 40-ounce bottle. 20 of it would be malt liquor. The other 20 would be orange juice.
Wow. Wow.
Well, looking at his
Right.
music and the people who like this stuff, I would think they probably want something a little more in between. You know, like you said, orange juice, whatever. Maybe and you know, I'm not trying to judge people, but those who drink, you know, IPAs or whatever or import, maybe an import. I guess you know. I guess that's the crowd. You know, his music. You know.
Well, not just Jay-Z, but any artist. Like, is there an artist, your favorite artist? If he was going to open up a beer, what kind of beer would you like him to have?
You know, I guess something, man.
Like
I
if
guess
I
something
said
more
like,
like a lager, I guess. For me would be.
who would be the artist?
There's so many people I like, all different genres, old and new.
We'll just pick
You know.
one.
Yeah, who do you like?
You know,
Right now,
it could be
geez.
CPR, it can be 50 Cent, it can be
R&B. I will
Gloria
actually listen to a lot
Estefan.
more old school R&B. There's a guy right now. I really like his music. Damn. I listen to a lot of old school stuff, guys, because a lot of the young guys, I know I'm saying this.
Do the old
At
school
my
guys
age,
have
I'm going to
names?
be 41. I'm going to be 41. No, seriously, I'm going to be 41 on the 26th.
You're younger than me.
Yeah, and I'm trying to say to myself, man, I can't find anybody young, of the young crowd right now that I really embrace. And
It could be Sam Cooke. It can be
Sam Cooke probably
it could be
drinking some,
brother,
knowing Sam Cooke's history, he'll probably drinking some of the real stuff, like maybe some Hennessy. Let's be real. With his life Hennessy, Frankie Beverly and Mays, maybe some, Maurice White, may he rest in peace. Maybe some hen or maybe some bourbon or some Paul Masson, some strong-ish.
Yeah.
But if it was a beer, what kind of beer would it be?
I would say these guys will probably be drinking maybe, some Bud, maybe, or maybe some, Bush or something like that,
I could see Robert Plant with a Budweiser in his hand.
Robert Plant? Yeah, but if
I like Robert Plant.
If he made a beer, would he make it a lager? Like if I said Earth, Wind, and Fire, they'd probably be on something like smooth, like a stout or something,
Yeah.
I'm just thinking of just different things.
It's like Robert, Young's or Guinness, something like that. That would probably be what they'll drink.
Definitely the Dropkick Murphys from the Boston, Mass area. They're one of those punk rock bands that mixes the Celtic style.
I heard them.
Irish
The
music.
Winter Classic. They were good. The
Exactly.
the soundtrack
they're probably
for
drinking.
The Departed.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, that's right, John. They're probably drinking. They're probably being real wicked piss of massholes guy and really drinking some fucking Harpoon guy. Or maybe some Murphy's Irish Stout. One of the guys in the band, I think it's the bass player, Sean Case. He actually owns his own bar up by where the old Boston Garden is, and they get the Garden, yeah. So yeah, they drink a lot of Guinness and Murphy's there. My favorite artist, and the kind of music that I like, but my favorite artist is Canada's one and only Rush, and they're probably drinking Molson and Labatt, and probably not a lot of Unibrew.
So
although I know that
if Rush came,
Dan and I is one of our favorite bands there, Megadeth. Dave Mustaine just came out with a beer with Unibrew. I don't know if it's going to come out in the United States or not, but
it's come out in the United States a couple of times. I can't get it in my area, which kind of pisses me off. You think that Quebec, yeah, they'll be sending it out because we do have Unibrew, but nope, I can't get two to Le Monde.
Well, I'll take that story off my list. That was one of my stories, but okay. He's down in San Diego County. He has 130 plus brewers, but he decided to go to Canada to work with Unibrew on his beer.
They're the They're great. But I just don't think a lot of rock and roll musicians that are really popular and famous in bands are really the craft beer kind of guys, because I think a lot of them when they're on stage, and sometimes I'll have just like a Stella on stage when I'm drumming, but a lot of them on stage, Stella, exactly. A lot of them on stage just have a couple of like Budweisers or Bud Lights, and that's pretty much it.
Eric, your reaction to the Stella reminds me of Adrian Brody when he did that Super Bowl commercial where Stella is singing the microphone. Stella!
So if Rush came to you, Eric, and they said, Eric, we want you to make a beer for us, what would you title it? What kind of style would you choose for them?
I would make them a red Barchetta Red Rye IPA.
Ooh.
Oh, okay.
There you go. Something to go thematically with their music. Something, red Barchetta, red IPA, red ale, amber ale, something like that.
Yeah.
Eric, you stole my thunder, man.
I'm glad.
Any title you would call it right now? Anything you think of?
Rush's Red IPA. I don't know.
Well,
Rush Red.
You could.
Red. The red Barchetta Red. I don't know.
I was gonna say you probably could call it Tom Sawyer because he had red hair, didn't he, in the book?
Yeah, he did. I think so. Yeah. There you go.
It was easy. It was a layup. I mean, it was like an old Kobe to Shaquille alley-oop.
Maybe Fly By Night Imperial Stout.
Oh, that's nice too.
All right.
Nice.
I love Rush. I'm done now. I could talk for hours about Rush.
So same question to Dan or Eric and Lion.
Ooh, well. See, the hard part about this is most of the bands that I actually enjoy and like have come out with some sort of alcohol. AC/DC, Megadeth, Metallica went and collaborated with Budweiser. Like there's all these different bands. Pink Floyd has their own wine out, which is a red wine. Like I don't know what I would do. I would love to see an Angry Scotch Ale by Korn.
Ooh,
By Korn.
sounds interesting.
Hey, real quick, guys. Not to interrupt. Didn't Van Halen, the old, the Roth years, didn't they?
You gotta specify.
Yeah, I gotta specify.
Not Van Hagar crap.
The Roth, the Hagar,
Going hot for teeth.
and then you had the Gary Sharon years. But the
Don't
Roth
remind us
years,
of Gary Sharon.
I got a bed. Go ahead.
didn't they come up with some beer, or were they involved with a high gravity beer or extra strong beer at one time? Van Halen.
I don't know. Did Van Halen have a beer?
That doesn't ring a bell at all to me.
But
no.
but didn't they advertise with some beer with
I'll look it up online and let you know, everybody.
yeah.
Let's see.
Something might be high gravity, or as we say in the United States, malt liquor.
No,
Yeah.
all I've got here is
But if you got Texas malt liquor, it's just over 5%.
Van Halen has a song from around 1983 called Beer Drinkers and Hellraisers that they covered.
But you see nothing where they've actually had a beer they created or worked with.
Okay.
David Lee Roth once threw a beer at the crowd. Oh, there you go.
Most of these rockers, they'll tell them to drink, like the Buds, the Millers, whatever, and I know some of these rockers had one of their sponsors. I think Jay puts this up. Remember Fleetwood Mac, Schlitz was their main sponsor. I know Miller Lite sponsored a lot of concerts. Luther Vandross, even though he said he was not a drinker, but they sponsored one of his concerts.
Oh, they'll take the money.
Yeah, exactly. And
I think a chair. Anyway, I think.
What's your favorite artist?
With my background, I have like a ton of different ones because I grew up. The first group I actually ever liked was AC/DC.
Nice.
Growing up, and I was like in 6th grade and listening to radio one day, and Highway to Hell came on. They were doing the new Back in Black album came out, and I was like, "What is that sound?" And then I was into that. I was into Rush. I was into a lot of the different rock acts, and then I got older, and then hip hop came out and rap. So I started getting into that early stuff with The Message, Run DMC. Curtis Blow, all the different things, all the way up through Public Enemy, Cypress Hill, like that and everything. And then in college, I was actually a DJ, and our station was alternative. So I've listened to Rollins Band with Henry Rollins, the lead singer. Used to listen to Cowboy Junkies and early Nirvana before they broke it, and always early REM. So I'm all across the board. I mean, even in going to cat school as a kid, we would listen to classical type music. So, but the one group would be, if I had to make a beer with my favorite group of all time would be Public Enemy. So
nice.
I would love to have something like a Bring the Noise type thing, and just have it like an amped up, hopped up, jump out of your bottle, punch you in the face type double or triple IPA that as soon as you hit that thing, you just felt it just on your tongue and it just lit you up. You know, kind of maybe a little bit more than a Molotov cocktail, and just bam, and you're just like, oh, it's on now. So that would probably be one I would look at. So,
All right.
What about you, Eric Elijah? Do you have anybody before we move to the next topic?
You know, I've been thinking about this a long time, and I think it's Naughty by Nature.
Ooh. There you go. Little Tretch.
Yep.
Wow.
And I think they would probably, I don't know what style they would make, but all I can think of is maybe, and I don't mean to, how do I want to say this? I could see a beer called OPP, but I don't know if it's or what kind of beer it would be. Would it be a malt liquor? Would it be a imperial stout? Would it be a
Thinking of Naughty by Nature, I think there'd be some dankness in there because I can smell some of the weed in the background.
Oh, God. Yeah.
So I'm thinking dankness would be a part of it, so it might be towards an IPA.
A nice Citra hopped IPA, a double dry hopped or something.
yeah,
A Trillium beer.
Yeah. Well, that'd be a pretty cool one too. So.
one of the juicy IPAs, Eric.
Yeah.
Yeah. Smells just like an Ozfest concert from when I was there in 2001. I'll never forget that smell. Every time somebody's lighting one of those dumb things up live outside somewhere, I keep thinking, why does it smell like Ozfest all of this? Oh, wait a minute. Somebody's smoking.
It is Ozfest.
Every day is not Ozfest, people.
What is it? Puff Puff Pass? I don't know the code. I just thought I heard that somewhere.
Sure. You didn't inhale either, did you?
Yeah. I was hanging with Bill Clinton. I didn't inhale. Anyway, so.
Oh, yeah, that's what Hillary said, too.
Oh, bump.
Hillary didn't finish.
Hillary.
The Lions fan will like this next one. So Michigan is now working on tabletop dispensers for beers, restaurants, and hotels. So you'll be able to actually pour your own beer when you're in these localities that are actually developing right now, which is actually a nice thing because in Cincinnati, we have that at some of the bars where you can come in and get a table of 10 or whatever and have a keg to yourself and you just pour it yourself. But Michigan is now opening that up and they're working on that. So that's going to be a pretty cool thing.
We're going to be the drunkest state in the union.
Next to Massachusetts.
Well, that's something to do with some
Go
states.
ahead, guys.
Go ahead,
Well,
Gene. We're just screwing around.
Yeah, okay. Well, I was going to say, back in 2003 or 4, the person that I dated before my current lady I'm with right now, we were in Pennsylvania. She was doing an event for a color guard, and we were staying in a hotel, and the hotel had a dispenser of Miller Lite. And I don't know if it's the same what Rajay is talking about, but we were at a hotel. It was one of those small mini hotels, and we walked in and turned around, and we were walking around, and they had a little dispenser, and they had Miller Lite, and they had Bud Light. Obviously, at that time, a lot of these places, I guess the cheap stuff, whatever. Mm-hmm. And we sat there, and they were pouring Miller Lite for us, and we were drinking it, no problem. And I kind of get to what Rajay was talking about, that, a lot of these hotels, I guess, are going to start doing that, I guess, hopefully, I guess, bring customers in and saying, hey, we got a keg and you want to drink beer, and, there it is.
Were they pouring it for you, or did you pour it yourself?
I think they were closed and nobody was looking. The person in the front desk wasn't looking, so I poured for myself. And
so free beer, huh? Free beers.
So the Gene's working the 5-finger discount.
I poured for myself in a small little cup. I said, "Man, this thing's still fresh." I said, "All right," And
I think Rajay's thinking of something different when he says 5-finger discount.
Yeah.
Okay.
Whoa.
Nobody's here. Is it free? I guess so. Anyway. So
look at Daddy's like, what the
aren't you?
Fuck, man?
So it's like you'll go out and you'll get a table, and you and your lady or you and your friends, whatever it may be, and they got the tap there. You just drink as you go, and I guess they're going to have it where they'll know what it starts at and wherever it finishes at, and you pay for that amount you drank. So it'll be kind of a cool little experience. Here they do it like that way as well, so it's kind of nice. So looks like Michigan's going to be heading that route, and we haven't had any issues in Cincinnati with some of the places that do it, but people do like having.
I really don't see anything wrong with it, really.
No. Like I said, it's usually done down here for like a lot of company parties or outings, or guys going to get it for tailgating. They do it like near the Bengal Stadium and stuff. But nice idea. I think it makes it convenience for a lot of people. So if you were going in, what beer would you? If you had to go in, you were going in, and you said I need to get a beer table. What beer would you have there that you could just drink endlessly from?
For craft beer or just like any beer in general? So
any beer in general. I mean, the more you get, the higher you get, the more you're going to pay. But
yeah, sure. I mean,
I'm going to say all things equal. What beer would you put into it?
I think if it was more of a, I think it was more of a macro type beer related kind of a product. I think I would choose Killian's Irish Red, that style of beer. I think for a little bit higher class.
I would agree with that.
Not quite on the craft beer level. I might choose Goose Island IPA.
Okay.
A little bit more crafty and just a step up in the price range. For craft beers, actually, quite honestly, one of the beers that I would choose, and I know I'm talking about IPAs right now, one of the ones I would choose would be the Lagunitas IPA.
Okay, that's a classic one.
It's really an easy, smooth drinking beer, and you forget that it's got alcohol in it until you feel it later.
Yeah, because remember, if you're going to put this in here, you're going to be drinking this beer the whole time. So you would want a beer that you can actually sit there and enjoy and not die out after. What about anybody else?
Yeah.
That's a tough one.
I don't know. I guess for me, the cheap stuff, I guess is as flowing. But like I said, I'm kind of with you, Eric. Maybe like a Goose IPA.
Yeah.
Maybe a Carlsberg, a Yuengling, I guess, something like that.
Carlsberg, yeah.
For me, go ahead. Sorry,
I was saying something along those lines. Go ahead, Eric.
Well, for me, it would be probably, since everyone in my family likes drinking it, would be Miller Lite for the macro.
You're killing my tap, man.
They would be like, give me that damn thing, and they'd take it away from you. Well, and for the craft, and Eric, you were the one who actually turned me onto this, but Sierra Nevada Pale Ale.
Oh, that's a craft.
Absolutely. That would be a great one right there. Yeah. Yeah.
Eric, you really did turn me on to that beer because I was like, man, I don't really know if I'll like this, and man, it was outstanding. I don't know if you see my review or not, but it was outstanding.
I think it's one of the most super approachable hoppy beers you can possibly buy on the planet.
Yeah, it has hops, but it's not gonna overpower you. It's kind of very subtle.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't cut your head off at all.
Right. Yeah.
Nope. That's a good choice. I like that.
What about you, Dan the man?
Ooh, if it was non-craft,
Any beer.
If it was non-craft, I would be going with Corona. I actually enjoy that kind of beer.
Corona. Oh, okay.
And if it was craft beer, the one that I had recently was a collaboration between 3 breweries up here, and it was such a it was a double IPA, but at the same point in time, it was such a good double IPA. It was pretty much a citrus bomb, and it was so delicious. It was beautiful, just the coloring on it, cloudy as hell, and it was amazing, and I could drink that all day long.
Nice. Which one was that one?
It was called Troubled Waters.
Troubled Waters. Okay. All right. That sounds pretty cool, too.
Yep. Yeah, I think Rajay's right. The idea is that it should be one that's highly approachable, that's not probably too alcohol forward, so that you can so that people can easily access the beer by palate and by not getting too fatigued as well.
Yeah, and I was thinking, I don't even know, because my favorite style is Belgian, but if you get Belgian too much, it become too sweet after a certain period of time.
Even the white ales.
Yeah, and then I was thinking, after a point, the IPA, you could burn your palate out. So it's kind of like, I don't know if I want an IPA to actually do it as well.
But guys, let me ask you all a question. These high gravity IPAs, is that better than the, like the ones that are maybe like over 6%, 7, 8, 9, the double IPAs? Are they better in flavor and texture and style versus the regular IPAs? I mean,
to me, there's really no comparison to me.
Right.
It tastes the same.
Right.
That's just my personal opinion. Maybe they're a little more malty, but other than that, no.
Yeah, because I mean, it really depends on what the brewer is doing for their batch for it. I mean, the reason you have the popularity of the session IPAs is that people don't want the weight on their tongue from that palate. They don't want all that heaviness. They want that lighter body type feel, but they want to still stay in the craft beer realm. So you get some of those lighter type IPAs. Taste wise, the taste is still there. It is kind of cut stuff to get it lower and everything on how they measure stuff out so it doesn't carry as high ABV. But you know what? If I just sit there all day and drink a beer or choose one, I didn't realize how tough that question was, so I asked you guys. I don't think it would be like anything like one of the, well, it could be, I don't know, it could be a lager at some point. I don't know what kind of lager it would be, though, but one that Sierra Nevada does that's a nice, refreshing one is their Kellerweiss. That one's actually
really great, yeah.
That could be one you could sit there and relax and it's crisp and refreshing. I think it's only around 5% ABV.
Not that heavy, yeah.
Something like that would be very solid to actually enjoy. I mean, if I had to choose a lager, I can do that. I mean, every year we played a couple golf outings, and we do it for a bar. So after golf, it's always like free Bud or Bud Light as well. So I've sat there and drank that for hours, and that's been fine too. But if I had to choose any beer, it probably would be like that Kellerweiss. I think that's just something that's nice, middle of the road. You can sit there and enjoy it. You won't get too teetered out from it. So that would be probably one I would choose.
A good Hefeweizen, yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
All
right. So whenever you guys do anything, I want to make sure you're always dedicated to finishing your beer.
Don't pour your beer out.
I'm already halfway through.
Limp out, America.
Dedication can only get you so far. So earlier this week in York, Pennsylvania, a beer drinking woman ran her SUV into the river, but kept drinking her beer, according to police. She was fleeing from them, and as they approached her, she gunned her engine into the Susquehanna River. And this happened on January 4th. The police tried to talk to her while she was in there. She wouldn't talk to them. She sat there in the car just finishing her beer. So always remember to finish your beer and be dedicated.
I don't think she knew what. It kind of reminds me of that State Farm commercial in Wrigley Field. They pull out that baseball player, and he's so disoriented from being pulled out of the ivy, and he just goes, "What year is it?" I mean, apparently this lady had no clue what dimension she was in, let alone that she was drinking a Schlitz malt liquor bowl ice or something.
Well, the funny thing is the police were chasing her because she ran a stop sign. So she ran a stop sign. The cops saw her. They started chasing her, and she just decided to take off, and which she may have been drinking already, but she was not getting out of the car until that beer was done. So just
bad move.
One of those funny stories you hear about the people out there, finish your beer. You guys have Kroger's near you? You have Kroger?
Yeah, I do.
Mostly when I lived in Virginia, Kroger's was everywhere. Now I can't find it here. The closest one, Arkansas, I think.
Okay. Well,
The closest store I have to that is a Wegmans.
Well, they're based here in Cincinnati, but they actually buy other chains under them, so maybe one of the other ones they'll end up owning. They are now in the process of testing Crowler stations in Tennessee. So,
Nice.
Okay.
For those who don't know, like Kroger in Cincinnati and Ohio, we can't do it in Kentucky because our law says alcohol has to be separate from your grocery store. In Ohio, you can have it under one roof. So they started basically putting bars in the middle of the grocery store. So as one person's shopping, the other one can sit there and drink beers or drink wine, which is kind of a neat little idea. Don't know who's driving after they leave the store, but they actually have kegs and everything on tap. So now, I don't know if you guys have seen Crowlers before, but they're kind of like those mini cans now that breweries are using. I think they're around like 20 ounces or something. But Kroger is now test marketing those, and basically you would choose what beer you want. They'll set up a Crowler for you. You just take it out.
I bet John would like the Crowlers because he can barely get beer as it is in Mobile.
Well, you know what? Seriously, Eric, and everybody on the panel. Whole Foods, as we all know, a mega store, they do provide growlers. Well, you have to bring your own growler.
Mm-hmm.
Go there and fill up. They have a couple of drafts, whatever they have on there. their spot, and you can get your beer. That place, and as well as another spot, the well, two places you can get that. Whole Foods, you got Old Shell Growlers, which is on Old Shell Road in Mobile, and also you can get it at the College Hill Package Store. Bring your growler, fill up all your stuff and what you want, and also Piggly Wiggly, which is across the bay in Spanish Fort, Alabama. You can do that and get your growlers, fill up on whatever you want. And as I said, you make sure you got to take care of that growler in one day and share it with your friends, because it's not something you're going to have and, you know, expect it's going to be fresh tomorrow, the next day or the day after, because it will go bad. So I say, get all your friends, guzzle it all up, or hey neighbor, neighbor, you want some beer? Come on, bring your cup.
Narragansett, hey neighbor. Well, I think I'm looking it up right now on their website, on the Whole Foods Market website. They say for a list of current beers, click this link, and the link is a Facebook link that's not currently active right now, but they say it's BYOG or purchase one of their growlers.
Right.
You know, bring your own growler, and it's $4 for a 64-ounce growler fill. Yeah. And then you get to bring the growler back and they'll bring it back, and we just charge for the brew. Although I'm a little curious about this, and I don't know what they do in your neck of the woods, Rajay, but in Massachusetts, our beer laws and for microbreweries and places that sell growlers and fill growlers states that you can only bring back the growler from that brewery to fill it. So I don't know how that would work at a Whole Foods.
Well, we're in Cincinnati, and I was going to say with the growler, you can actually, I've had growlers for like 2 or 3 days, depending. It depends how airtight they actually are. But we can actually take any growler to any brewery or place, and they'll fill it up. They would love for it to be their growler, of course, but they'll take any growler and they'll fill it and cap it. I've had it, they clean them nicely. A lot of them will clean them, make sure they're nice and spot free, and all that stuff before they load the beer in them. The cool thing I've had a few times is like if the keg actually kicks, they end up sometimes just giving it to you because there's like, we don't want to charge because you didn't give a full growler or something. So that's always kind of cool. But we had no problem with that. So we have the growlers, we have the crowlers, and then you can buy pints as well. Like our Whole Foods, some days we'll go there for lunch because they got like even though it's an overcharged lunch for what they charge you at Whole Foods, but it's a healthy type thing, or supposedly. But they have their kegs on tap, and you'll actually get a pint while you're sitting there eating lunch, which is pretty cool. So, somebody shaving?
Rajay.
I'm hoping it was shaving and not something else.
Who's got the vibrator?
Somebody's got
Erica Lions fan. Is your girlfriend still there?
Yeah, it was my dryer.
But,
okay.
So
sure, it was a dryer.
So what would you like to? Would you like a beer of your own, based off your own DNA?
My own DNA. My DNA is Swiss, German. I think there's some Scottish somewhere, and there could even be a trace of Irish. Or let me put it this way: Swiss and German are the big ones. Yeah. There is a trace bit of Scottish, and we do have some Irish. So you could go a lot of different ways with that. You could do a darker Dunkel beer, a Dunkelweizen, a big 14%er, kind of like the Santa Claus beer. You could even do a red ale or an amber type of an ale. I guess maybe in my DNA, you could do a very approachable, either like a Munich Helles lager or maybe a darker Oktoberfest beer, where every one of the various nationalities in my blood can appreciate that beer and get along together and not, fight. Even though I know the Swiss people just kind of go, yeah, okay, we're neutral.
Well, here's the thing. You don't have to guess anymore. So Forbes has actually released a piece this week talking about a beer being released where DNA can predict your beer preferences as indicated. So out of London, there's a brewery called Meantime Bespoke. They actually will create a beer based off your DNA that you're guaranteed to pretty much like. As an individual, you provide a saliva sample, and then you actually get with the brewer.
Saliva sample, not a
not necessarily. And then you get with the brewers, get your hands dirty, you work some of the hops, some of the grains, all that kind of stuff to perfect your own beer. And the beer that comes out is supposedly supposed to be a perfect match for what you like, for what would be a perfect suit for you. So
You get your money back if it's not your perfect match?
I don't think you do, but
Oh, boo.
it's not a big price tag on it. It's only $30,000.
Oh, I don't want the beer that bad on my DNA.
And they
No,
give you,
thank you.
and they give you 2,000 pints, so you can share with all your. So
1,000 pints.
Wow.
2,000.
That's a lot of fucking beer.
2,000
And there's other
pints.
stuff you can do if you want to add on, like a custom DNA handmade glass, all kinds of stuff. But that's all extras. Those are extras. So,
Oh, Gene beer.
so
All right.
we'll have to get with the UK guys and find out what the hell's going on over there. Apparently, people with the money are actually getting these beers done. So, but how long would it take you to get rid of 2,000 pints? I mean,
Excuse me.
that's a lot of pints. what's,
fast?
what's the shelf life on the beer? I mean,
Probably, for me, it'd probably be a lager, so I better drink it fast.
For me, it'd be a high alcohol, high ABV. So yeah, whatever. Make it last for a little bit. I'll cellar it.
I mean, unless you're like Lionel Messi, how are you going to afford all that beer? You know, it's one big party. Have a messy
You can
beer.
get Lionel messied up.
So what about shower beers? Yes or no? Have you guys ever had a shower beer?
No.
I heard about this story.
It's like the new crave now. If you go on Instagram, like people are doing shower beer photos and stuff, but it's like the big
I
thing
think
now.
I've done it before.
That's a little odd.
No, but
What's
Having a
like,
beer while you're taking your shower.
You done it?
Oh.
It's that hot shower with that cold
Eric
refreshment.
have done it.
Seriously, there's a shower beer group on Facebook. It's been there for a couple of years.
Have you?
Now, if I'm taking a bath and laying on a jacuzzi, I could have a beer, but but a
Same
shower
idea.
beer, I don't know.
Have you done it
Much
before,
like
Dan?
best shower beer ever.
You know what?
Have you done it before?
If I'm in a hurry and I want to drink a beer and I have to have a shower, hell yes.
Okay. All right, Dan. Okay.
God.
Hell yeah, brother.
So when you do the shower beer, is it the feeling is because the talk is like it's a great sensation, drinking the beer, the water's hitting you, all that kind of
See,
stuff.
I don't sit back and enjoy it. I pound it back while scrubbing my hair. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
I'm going to
It's
wash
great for
that gray
hangovers.
right out of my hair.
Oh, crap, I mixed the two up. Oh, I'm drinking shampoo and pouring beer in my hair. No.
Oh, man.
Oh my good lord.
I mean, you think about it this way. How
Eric,
many women,
I was like, Eric Elias fan's pretty quiet. He's done it, he said.
Taking it back to my college days,
step
man.
back.
Yeah, I heard this story. Tell me if I'm wrong about the story. I don't wanna one up you here, Rajay, but I heard it on the radio this morning. It's gonna be I forget what company it is. It's a 6-ounce beer, and it's a really high alcohol percentage beer, so you get the best out of your shower experience.
Really?
Yeah, that's what I heard.
It doesn't surprise me because a lot of people are doing it a lot more nowadays, it seems.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I was on vacation. I sat there and was like, oh, I've got this great big shower. I've got this thing behind me. I'm like, you know what? I'm on vacation. Screw it. Put my beer down there, had a shower, and drank my beer and enjoyed it.
Well, they've made actually suction cup holders to hold your beer in
Yeah.
showers.
Yeah.
That goes out there. And I mean, I've drank beer in the pool. I drank beer in a hot tub. I haven't really done it in a bathtub. I never, but a shower isn't that much more of a, I mean, you're standing there, you're trying to go through stuff, but I mean, depends if you got time to kill, I guess. I mean, if you do it in a shower, what's that? You drink it on a toilet? I mean, what are you all?
Oh, ever hear
where
about toilet beer?
does it end?
Taking a crap, have a nice stout.
Do you take your phone in when you go to the bathroom? Do you sit down and read on your phone? Why not a beer?
Wow.
You're a great marketing guy there.
You are.
Sell this idea to a
Some marketing guy's going to see this and be like, that's a good pitch right
You
there.
know what? I mean,
Hello, take your beer.
how many women sit back and please excuse the stereotypes, but how many women will actually go have a bath, have a glass of red wine with them, couple of candles, and relax for a little bit. Why can't a guy go in, have a shower, pound back a beer, and scrub his hair? I mean, it's the same idea, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, just his hair, all right.
Yeah, just keep it there.
I'm telling you, nothing is better to me than a Busch Light and going in the shower and getting rid of a hangover. And just pound it.
Whoa.
You gotta pound it.
Except maybe a bush in the shower.
Oh, pound it. No, I'm not going there. I'm not going there.
Hair of a dog while having a shower. Why not? Wait, no, that doesn't sound right. Never mind.
Great song by Nazareth.
Love hurts.
All right.
Oh, never mind.
Boy, this
Correct.
show went down into the gutter real quick, guys.
I told you.
Featuring Thomas
New
Middleton.
format for 2017. I told you.
Yeah, you
This
have
is a
to
great
read it
format,
on
We
the
right?
have
page,
1,000
not the-
viewers right now, damn it.
So here's one that probably people will see, except maybe Gene, just because he's a mobile.
Okay.
And it's been like the big talk, of course, this week. Milwaukee's Best, their ice, now being touted as a hipster beer. So
How's that possible? How is that?
released a 6.9. They're kind of coined it as a hipster beer, just like they did PBR a few years back.
Okay.
I mean, when you're drinking Milwaukee's
PBR was
Best
back in the
Ice-
late 90s, right? 98, 99, when it became a really hipster stuff, yeah.
Now,
I remember
Dan is
back in those
angry.
days.
I
in
started
New York
drinking
City.
Milwaukee's Best back in college in the 90s, and I never felt like a hipster. And we had all different types of Milwaukee Best, but
Did
now
PBR ever make you feel like a hipster? Come on now.
no, it was cheap. But nowadays, you go out there and people feel like a hipster when they drink it or whatever. It's like
I have no shame drinking a PBR.
no, actually,
What's the
PBR is
definition? What do you I mean? I think we all have it in our mind what a hipster is and I mean when it comes to PBR. But I guess just in general, what are we saying when we say hipster in relation to Milwaukee's Best Ice nowadays?
is Milwaukee's Best Ice is being kicked to that 6.9% level. And it's,
Yeah.
Sounds like an oxymoron to me.
Yeah, it does.
and is actually being picked up by someone, I guess, the younger crowd as being a hip beer to actually try now. And that's how they're marketing it out there as being a hip beer.
I
to
mean,
actually
the hip
get
beer
out.
would
All
be
right, so
something
that's
like,
what it means to be a hipster.
a hip beer would be like something like, Miller High Life, like you said, PBR, or maybe Milwaukee's Best. But that Milwaukee's Best Ice, 6.9%, I don't know.
Milwaukee's Best is kind of stretching it.
They're like, yeah, exactly.
Well,
The
But
4.8,
Jay
I think, was a good deal.
lager. He
Was a
likes
good
the
move.
lager.
Oh yeah, it
We
was.
know-
a good one, right?
See, I don't drink
Denying
Milwaukee's
that.
Best that much, so
I can't see a hipster with a man bun drinking that kind of beer.
a man bun. God.
you see some guy sitting there, son, I may have to kick your ass.
First, let me finish my eyes,
Get
love.
that goddamn man bun off you, but still.
I don't know. That's how
I
they're
just
pushing
can't
it.
see it. Like you've had this beer. Like I can see him drinking other craft beer, but this, no.
Yeah. It's that's what they're noting it. So we'll see what happens over the year, but that's the new big push. So as like I said, I don't know, Gene, if you'll get it down there because I know sometimes you don't see some of them.
We haven't gotten the ice here. All we got is the light and the lager, the 4.8%. And as one person I talked to on Facebook, John Walker, mentioned, the 4.8 has done very well so far. The sales have been pretty good in his area, and so far where I'm at, a couple of stores I've gone to. I like that porter, Eric. Yeah, I see that.
Yeah,
Some of the stores I've gone to, particularly like Greer's Cash Saver, as Jay likes to call it, the pay for more store, where they add the cost plus 10%. That beer,
Oh,
the
Rousey?
12-pack, right? That beer has done very well. They've been selling the 12-pack pretty regularly. So, I guess people have found something that they like, and so.
I think it'll depend on where they try to market it to as well. Like if they're going to say we're going to target the New York market, the LA market, Seattle.
I haven't seen
Denver.
Milwaukee's Best in the New York market. I've seen the other budget beers.
I'm trying to think where the hipster people would be possibly.
Right.
If they were never tried to market those, but
L.A., Chicago, Los Angeles,
Diego.
you know,
Yeah.
Boston.
Boston, exactly.
Boston.
Yes, fucking
Boston's
Boston.
got
But I'm sure, Eric, that they would be
Seattle.
drinking the Eric Thomas Meadow, the Narragansett, or maybe something from Genesee or something like that. You know, more because that's more budget
more than the
versus
ice. It's
Definitely
the
Gansett,
ice.
yeah.
you know, more so than Sam Adams. You know, which is I guess is a very common, obviously common being from
Yeah, the
up there,
Boston
but
Lager really
considered
yeah.
but considered a budget beer. You know, Narragansett, Genesee, Utica, you know, something like that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Funniest
We don't
thing to
get
see,
Utica
though.
Club in our area.
Funniest thing to see though would be Vanilla Ice actually ordered at Milwaukee's Best Ice.
Oh, that's the kind of beer that he would drink?
I don't know, I think he's like a hipster, but anyway.
Bush Ice, maybe, I guess.
He's a dumbass.
When I think hipster, I think more Seattle and Portland.
Yeah, Seattle, Portland would be areas. Yeah,
The flannel shirt.
Yeah.
San Diego.
Seattle is a hipster area.
But in other stuff, and for all you people that watch this that are out in their Denver area and other states that have legalized marijuana, or as the kids used to call it, the wacky weed.
Cigarettes.
In Denver, they're starting to see beer sales start to tank a little bit due to the overwhelming success of the pot sales, which is not fully surprising, knowing that the health effects you get from smoking weed versus drinking beer, you have a lower chance of picking up something, or you know, you don't have like the lung cancer threat like you do the liver stuff if you drink too much beer type thing. So just kind of interesting to see how that trends. If now it may get reversed because Trump may come in and reverse a lot of that stuff that happened, but they are starting to see a trend where more people are going to the pot sales and beer sales are starting to fall off.
And they're not doing it right.
Yeah, and it could be an oversaturated market because Denver has a lot of beers.
Couldn't there be a way to figure out how to get all the really stoned pot guys to go over to the breweries and drink the craft beer and make more money off of stoned pot guys?
Yeah. Here's one. I've just sent it to you in chat.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, you make a hemp beer, plain and simple.
Yeah, but it's not the same. Like you can't use marijuana as like hops. Is what people have been saying that try, because it is a related strain, but it doesn't make beer as well.
So you make it taste like marijuana. People will drink it, not fucking smoke it.
But we've got that. But we've got that now with beers that have the dankness and everything.
Yeah, but it's not the same. Like it's really not. Like you get the accidental dankness that smells like marijuana, like I did with the China Lucky Buddha beer. It actually smelled like marijuana, but it was a bad beer. That's why. But like you have something like a reef beer, which they actually do make it with hemp.
Yeah.
And
I've had a hemp beer before, and actually it was pretty good.
Yeah. So you bring more hemp beers into somewhere like Colorado, you can up your sales by tenfold.
This is interesting. It's, I'm reading a couple of the Beer Advocate overall status, recommendations, overall beer. Sorry, I've had too many of these 9%ers.
There's no such thing as too many.
Well, it says one of the guys said,
"Where are you? Still at work?"
One of the guys about that link that you posted, Dan. It says,
"I know. Where are you?"
The hemp covers the absence of any serious hop presence, which allows this brew to retain its discount brand status.
Discount brand status. Wow.
It's true. It is a discount kind of. It's a lower end beer.
An F beer.
Yeah, I personally haven't had it myself. I should, because it's all around here. And
Where are these guys out of?
Out of British Columbia.
Oh, yeah, British Columbia, Canada, right there.
Yeah. Right now,
How about that Lucky Buddha beer, right?
I knew you'd find it.
Isn't Lucky Buddha beer come in this little green, fat Buddha-looking bottle?
Yeah, I've had that before.
I've seen it here. I've seen it here.
Yep.
I've had the
I don't know if I want to try that. Maybe.
But that's not bad.
I've actually got a night light that uses the Buddha beer light.
Wait a minute, the Buddha's not a hemp beer, is it?
No, it's not.
I was
But
saying it didn't taste like it. Yeah.
when I reviewed it, it actually could. It tasted like it. I was like, "What the hell is this?" Like Lucky Buddha's been smoking a few. But I mean, with this hemp beer, what people don't know and what you guys may not know is BC is very well known for their weed, because of the location, because of the way that their climate is. Weed grows really well in BC. Not that I've ever smoked it there for 50 years of my life.
Hold on, side note.
Not that I've ever been there.
Vacation
Not
to
that I've ever been there.
BC.
All right, he's writing this down for the court of law.
Yeah.
I have no idea that this death was actually a bong. I mean, I didn't know.
Shit.
You just wanted it for the figurine.
I still have to open it up and see how much oil's in there. My parents looked at that going, "That's a lovely death." I'm like, I know. And they grew up in the 60s.
A lot of rainbows. A lot of rainbows.
Oh, yeah, a lot
He
of
goes in
rainbows.
Timothy Leary on acid. There you go.
But I mean, that kind
From
of
Springfield, Massachusetts.
it's one of those things that basically, if you can do something like that, you can attract people in Colorado a lot more. Don't oversaturate it, of course, but just have a couple of breweries here and there going, "Oh, we've got this one. We've got this one." And if they do it, they can actually bring the people back to drinking beer, get them drunk off that, and then start selling them the good craft beer.
Could they get a dual license maybe? And I know a lot. I know in Amsterdam, although I'm not really talking about coffee, which doesn't need a license to sell it, except for the license to be a company. But they do the joint coffee and the marijuana. Why can't you do a joint beer and marijuana?
And
Kind of
on
interesting.
the side, sell like hash brownies.
Mm.
Like,
I've never
You made
had
it right,
hash
hungry,
brown.
guy. Sound like Homer Simpson up
moving
there.
to next.
Second note, after vacation to BC, Amsterdam.
That's
In
quite
Colorado,
great
you
right
pass
there.
all this stuff.
But well, the last one I had here was going back out to Denver to Pot City, USA. Denver beer makers, a Denver group of women that brew beer got together, and they made a pro-woman beer. It is being done in time for the inauguration of our next president, Donald Trump. They did it with Gold Spot Brew, and it's called Making Noise Pussy Riot.
Oh no! Is this the same Pussy Riot as the band?
No,
From Russia?
but I think that was kind of like maybe something that got them going in that direction.
Their inspiration?
But a portion of the proceeds will actually be done. Will actually be donated to local charities. They're saying, one of the brewers said, it's not about being political. It's more about unity among like-minded individuals and pulling women together and against some of the stuff that's happening here in the U.S., blah, blah, blah. But it's kind of interesting because they're making it just in time to be done here. They plan to also, I think they're trying to get some out there for when the inauguration happens in D.C. to give to people or something. So it'll be kind of interesting. But at a point, like is there a beer that you wouldn't drink because you had a political tie to it? Like, for instance, if you know this beer is an anti-Trump beer, although they're saying it's not, would you drink it still?
Hell yeah! Anti-Trump?
It's beer. Hell yeah, I'll drink it.
But if it was,
Hell yeah.
Let me just add on to that statement. If it was a beer that Trump endorsed, I would not touch it.
so in the situation we had, like where Yingling endorsed Trump, like they saw sales get hit a little bit from people not supporting them. Some people still went with them anyway because they like Yingling. It's all up to that person's discretion. Is there like
I still bought Yingling, even though Dick Yingling supported Trump. I didn't give a shit. The beer is still good.
that's a good way to look at it.
Never word was spoken truer than right now, John.
Is there a beer that would be like too much that you said you wouldn't drink, for it? Like if it was a beer against something that you would consider
Maybe if it was called like Rapist Red Ale or something, I wouldn't drink it.
I would agree, Eric. I would agree with that.
Beer world, like we talked about the labels, you never know who might put something.
Actually, if we're talking about something like that, that one beer that's been circulating down the States, the one with the weight bag around it with the 2 eye holes.
Well, that's out of the UK. That's Yellow Belly.
And I wouldn't drink that.
I would.
I couldn't.
Because I understand what the beer is about, and I understand the message they also include in the label.
But at the same point in time, okay, so if the message was different than what it is portraying, then yes, okay, I can see that. Okay, well let's go with
Like if
this.
they say come join the clan, then I'm not going to drink the beer. But they're talking about how they're a bunch of cowardice. They talk about they're a bunch of cowardice, punk, Yellow Belly type individuals. Yeah, I'm all supportive about kicking them in the Yellow Belly.
Join the clan, drink a beer. Wow.
Yeah.
Great slogan and marketing
But that's
campaign.
how some people look at Yellow Belly. They think Yellow Belly's
I think more Kool-Aid than beer.
Don't be knocking Kool-Aid.
Wait a minute.
Wow.
The Kool-Aid man's racist? What?
Kool-Aid is a cult drink right there. You got to drink some of the Kool-Aid, man.
One beer I wouldn't drink is if, so let's say, Trump and the leader of North Korea came together and said, hey, let's make a beer together. I wouldn't touch that with a 10-foot pole.
Yeah. But if it had like a...
But what if... No, you wouldn't touch it. No, I'm not going there.
No.
I was going to say, what if they had nothing to do with the actual brewing of that beer? They just left it alone to some other company to make it for them.
If it had a political background and they gained money off of it, both of them,
Yeah.
no, I wouldn't.
Right, okay. Good enough.
That's
good enough.
That's kind of what I would go with. Like I couldn't support them in that retrospect.
Right.
Yeah, we'd rather drink Megadeth beer.
From a French label, go figure.
No, that makes sense. But it's like if there was a beer, if there was a beer like the Dixie Chicks made, people wouldn't drink because they would be upset with them from some of their stuff they've said in the past. I mean, some people are just weird on some of the stuff. So
this is true. I mean, like there's people that wouldn't drink the Megadeth beer as we have, for example, because
What's the ABV on that Megadeth beer?
4.6%.
Okay, that's pretty light. That's light.
It's pretty light.
Stays on.
I mean,
like Gene said, he would drink Yingling. I haven't drank Yingling since they actually backed Trump.
yeah, I mean, like
All I've had is a traditional lager. I haven't had anything else.
Yeah.
The black
I mean,
and tan
I've
is real
gotten
good.
fights with people about the Megadeth, like the Megadeth person, Dave Mustaine, for example, because they don't like his religious backtone and
Yeah.
his overbearing. How can I put it nicely? His overbearing way of pushing his religious backtone and still being a douche prick about things.
Sound like a
I mean,
coworker.
you've been writing
years
music lately
ago.
about what that tone is.
We all got one of those in the office, right?
But that's the thing. Like, I mean, for me, I had a fight with one of my buddies who I dropped on Facebook because of the fact that he's not a big fan of Dave Mustaine because the way he's portrayed things, the way he said things. But at the same point in time, what Megadeth did for me while I was going through my divorce, having, for example, Dave Mustaine signing and autographing this hat, because the whole thing of getting it up to this from the States to Canada, I had to pay an extra $35, and I sent an email to him, and his wife's like, "Well, I'm sorry, here, let me get you something else." Just got me through my whole divorce with a bunch of songs. That actually had a lot of meaning more than what he actually has in the way of a religious backtone.
Right.
So it all comes down to what you can and can't oversee or ignore, I guess. It's kind of weird. Like, I don't know what I would actually enjoy and what I wouldn't because of things. Like if Nickelback, okay. If Nickelback made a beer, I would fucking dump it down the drain.
It would be Horse's Lager Ale.
What's the beer? I mean,
I'd chug that bitch.
God damn it. No.
That explains why you're a Lions fan and not a Seahawks fan. Sorry. Had to go down that path for a Sunday.
yeah. I mean, not like we're talking to Hansons here. I mean, yeah, Nickelback would probably be a good beer.
Hey, they're actually came out with a
Actually, I
beer.
think those guys were involved in a beer at one
They
point.
were. They were. And it was called
Wow, reference there, man.
I think if it's a good beer, you drink it if you like. I mean, if you got views against it, any corporation that gets into views, and I mean, they take a risk anyway.
Yep.
Like I said, Yingling took a risk, and some people were okay, some people weren't with it. And these women in Denver that made this one, they're taking a risk as well. But they're going to have supporters, they're going to have people against them. It's just going to be what it is. But if it's a good beer and it doesn't do anything to go against your morality line, then yeah, you drink it or whatever, you know.
Yeah, I mean, everyone is an individual. They can like or not like whatever they want. You can't tell them what they can or cannot like or dislike. You just say, all right, fine, I dislike this, you like this, we're going to walk away.
Right. This is like
It's just beer, for God's sakes.
Well, that depends. If it's piss water, then it's not beer.
All right, Eric Lyons, man, defend yourself.
Why'd you bring up Coors?
Coors beer is great.
I said piss water. I meant Mayhaw, not Coors.
Oh, all right. At
Bud
least
Select 55.
Miller 64 is trash. Well, especially when it's skunky from a clear bottle. Yeah. The two worst beers of my life was a skunky Miller 64 and 8.1% Steel Reserve.
We get the 8
Hey,
point, 8 point something.
Steel Reserve is good.
On what day and how drunk are you?
Well, I had mine pretty fresh.
Well, I've heard Jay Terrio talk enough. Oh, there's your plug for the day, Mez. Louisiana Beers. There. He keeps talking about the 6.0% or 1% version of Steel Reserve is so much better than the 8.1.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, okay, sure it is.
Jay, if you're watching, send me that beer. I'll do a side by side.
Yeah, I haven't seen the 6%. We always get the 8 point whatever up here.
There's
Yeah,
places
we get the 8.1
in the United States, and for whatever reason, you get these malt liquor beers, and they're distributed, and depending on where they're distributed, they have a different alcohol percentage by volume. I don't know if that's due to different laws in the different states. I don't know if they do that in Canada in the different provinces or whatnot, but it doesn't seem to really make sense to me. Even in Texas, you're calling, I don't know, a Genesee Ice, you're calling that an ale.
Because it's a 4 or 5% level they have down there or whatever.
They don't know that ale is an actual beer? Okay, sure.
Yeah, but people don't know there's only two styles of beer, ale and lager, and then everything else is
And this one's a malted beverage. All right.
Yeah.
That was a rant. I'm sorry. A tangent.
Yeah, you taking Jay's spot tonight and going to
That's okay, Eric.
I have not been able to do his Wednesday nights as I practice on Wednesday nights, so, you know.
Hey, I'm the one drinking that.
So you're jonesing for a fix to rant. I got it.
Oh, God. Did anybody want to discuss whatever they're drinking this year?
Yeah, anybody want to talk about their beer? I got all the news stories out, so anybody wants to talk about their beer.
I've done my beer. It was good. It was actually
Me
really
too.
What was it like?
Mines.
Actually, it was really good. It was not overly hoppy, even though it came in, what did I say it was, 60 or 70? What was the IPA? 75 IBUs? It wasn't overly hoppy. It was actually quite good.
Yeah.
Excellent. What did you drink? What did you drink, Gene or John?
I was drinking, Genesee Cream Ale. And
Hennessy Cream Ale. Okay.
Yeah, I'm
That's
done with
probably
mine,
the
and I'm
best beer
feeling like I need another one.
It was fired up, son.
Yes, I am.
And Eric, the Lions fan, had the nice big stout beer.
You didn't get to talk about your blackout stout. What did you think of that one, Eric?
Outstanding.
Yeah, Great Lakes does some good stuff. That's a pretty good one.
Oh, yeah. I haven't came across a bad beer yet from them.
You got to get the one I told you about, though, or both of them, because they'll be out now. The Chill Wave and the Lake Erie Monster.
I haven't. I think I can't get both of those now. I think I'm too far out.
Well, they just came out in January.
Oh, did it?
So they'll be out through February. I think they'll stop them for the year.
I like their Imperial Red Stout and their Amber Ale too.
But not for Rostu.
I can
I've
still
heard of
get
that.
that.
That is good stuff right there.
Nice.
Yeah, it is.
Well, I'm on the second can of this Eugene Porter from the Revolution Brewing Company.
Did you get a
This is the third
pack?
Yeah, exactly. Yep. This is the third beer I've ever had from the Revolution Brewing Company. They're in Chicago, Illinois. I've had, might even be the fourth beer, because I think I might have had their Galaxy Hopped Anti-Hero IPA. I've had the normal Anti-Hero IPA. That's a great beer. The Galaxy Hopped one, I believe I've had. They make this big barrel aged series beers that come in a cardboard box that are really nice. It was a Mad Cow Imperial Stout. That was really nice, like 9.4, something like that %. And this one here, the Eugene Porter, is 6.8 with 28 IBUs. And the really cool thing about it is they use an assortment of Belgian specialty malts. And they say it forms a complex structure of toasted grain and caramel flavors. Dark chocolate malts makes this porter black as night and influences with its distinct, intense chocolate essence. They say it's a robust porter. Now, it did have a two-finger head when I poured it initially into this stout-style glass. It has a little bit of lacing. There is some ruby red tinges. It's not entirely black as night. And you can definitely smell very roasted, dark malts, dark chocolate. It has a lighter feel to it, obviously, at 6.8 than an Imperial Stout. But for whatever reason, that malty sweet chocolate flavor that's in the nose is reminding me of an Imperial Stout. It's got an Imperial Stout nose to it, which is kind of really mind-boggling to me to a certain extent. And you can tell that there's a Belgian kind of a sugar or yeast strain that's playing nicely with everything else.
Did you say that's
the taste of it? It's a porter, but it smells just like an Imperial Stout at 6.8%. And you know what? To a certain extent, that's what I'm getting. I'm getting more of a watery version of an Imperial Stout, but I'd still say it's a straight up between medium and full. If you don't want to make that plunge into drinking an Imperial Stout this evening or wherever you're at, you can get this beer. Or like that, yeah. And you want to have a little bit bigger of a beer without it being too big for its own good. It's a really great way to go. It's got those big, bold caramel malts, those roasted notes, dark chocolate notes, a little bit of coffee. It does have some bitterness. It is kind of on that earthy side. There is a little bit of the dark fruited notes. Again, to me, it's got all of these notes of a great Imperial Stout without it being quite as hefty in the mouthfeel. It's almost got the same stickiness, but not quite there. And there's a really interesting flavor with that Belgian yeast strain. Whatever it's doing to the graininess of the beer and the sweetness, I'm kind of liking it. It has that Belgian candied sugar light essence to it. So if any of that sounds great to you, this Eugene Porter is definitely the way to go. It's like a light Imperial Stout. Seriously.
Nice.
Okay.
90. I'll give it a 94. Why not?
Very nice.
Nice.
Well, this Omnipollo beer table is pretty good, so I'm not going to talk too much about it, but I got another bottle, so I'm going to do a review on that one at some point. But at $4.99, that was a steal.
Absolutely.
Yeah. But with everything, that's all the beer stuff I have for the week. Anybody else have anything else they want to shout out? We can go to overtime, but
yeah, I got one thing. Just stop scoring, USA. Canada's supposed to win the gold medal game.
Are we whipping your ass up there?
It's actually 2-2 right now, ending the second period.
Oh, well, it's tied. So you're right.
And is that junior hockey?
Yep.
Okay.
The World Juniors is on right now, the gold medal games. So, sorry, that's why I've been sort of distracted. It's hockey.
Well, we know the Canadians are fired up on the hockey.
Hell yeah.
And the Edmonton Oilers are beating the Boston Bruins 4-2 in the third period with 8 minutes and 22 seconds to go. So, yeah, enough of that.
Really, nothing else is on. I can't really get into the NBA season. I got into it in Christmas, but I'm going to wait till after the All-Star break to get into it. Right now my main focus is on the NFL. We got one more
Yes.
game for college football, of course, on Monday night. Outside of that, one thing I will say about beer, guys, do you find yourselves, some of the craft beers you guys buy, and do you find them to be reasonably priced? Do you feel that they were kind of overpricing some of their craft beers? Some of these companies, wherever you go, I know every state is different. Even some of your home states, and for you, Dan, obviously being being in Canada, prices are different. Prices are, or whatever, vary from here and there versus what is in Alberta versus what is in Ontario or Quebec, whatever. Do you find it, craft beer is reasonably priced and a better value, and you get more of a bang for your buck versus the macros and whatnot?
I think
it depends on two things. Personally, for me, I guess it depends on a couple of different factors. What are you looking to do this evening? You're looking to look down at Periscope if you're an Eric Lions fan. What are you looking to do this evening? Spyglass. Again, what are you looking to do this evening? How much do you want sitting around in your refrigerator? Do you want just a light, easy drinking beer and you're not really thinking about beer flavors? Or are you looking for something that's a little bit more of a step up and you're looking to just, sit back and enjoy a really good quality beer? Because sometimes if you just sit back with a good quality beer, you're almost not so intently thinking about the price. Although I can tell you from a personal experience, if you're looking for some of these not rare beers, but if you're looking for some of these beers that are really highly sought after, like the Trillium beers, the Treehouse beers, Night Shift beers, Kentucky or Canadian Breakfast Stout from Founders, anything from Russian River Brewing Company, those kind of things, for the 4-packs that they sell, to some folks that may be an outrageous price to pay like 18 or 14 for just like 4 tall boy cans of beer. But if that's the kind of beer you're really into and you feel that the quality of that beer is worth that price, then by all means, that was a good purchase to make. If you end up not liking the beer, then that was a bad purchase. If you end up, thinking to yourself, well, this is way too much to be spending on beer, then I obviously wouldn't endorse you to buy that beer. But I, in general, would endorse you to try as many things as you can and in as many different price ranges as you can.
What I would say, it really depends on your strategy and your style, and I actually look at it more as strategizing when I'm looking to put my beers together. So I have 5 different stores in my rotation, so I know what the prices should be in different stores for different beers, and then I also know how to build my beer cellar. So there's some beers that if I catch them on a good deal, then I'll stack them up. I'm going to be drinking them over months or so because I can cellar a lot of them. You have to know what kind of is a hot deal out there. There's supply and demand. It's just economics. It's, we see zombie dust here. You're going to pay for zombie dust because it's going to go like that. But there's other stuff you can get out there that's just as quality that you're not going to pay those dollars for. So it's all a matter of being able to do that and making connections with the people at the different places you go to. When you go there a lot, they'll let you know what heads up when stuff's coming in and do things along those lines. And I know I don't really do it here, but I know some places people say they end up getting friends discounts because they know people that run the store. So you got to get there, you got to connect, you tell people what you do and all that kind of stuff too, and do all those things. And then the fun thing is, like I said, when you go out and you do like a lot of on-site type locations and stuff, and you're doing things out there, people will actually provide some beers to you because they know you're doing reviews and stuff on them. They're getting their place out. So you don't want to be like Jay and asking for it. No, I'm just joking, Jay. But there's ways you actually work within it. It depends on how your strategy is set up. There's some beers you're going to pay for if you want a Bourbon County Stout, you're going to pay anywhere from $13 to $15 to $16 if it's this year's. If it's going to be an older one, you're going to pay a lot more. So
we're talking about a whole 4-pack of it, right?
No, I'm talking about one.
I got
I
mine
don't
for
remember
10.
paying that much for one. No, not me.
16.9 ounce for one of the Bourbon County brand stouts.
$10.
Yeah, that's a good
Yeah,
deal.
yeah, about that price. Yeah.
Yeah, see, we were at 13 here. It depends where you're at. So, like your other beers, where you're at, Eric, like you're higher than us usually. I actually bought a 4-pack of Dark Penis one time for Founders. They had it at our store for $4.99 because they were getting rid of it.
I did find a price like that when they were getting rid of it in my area too. Yeah.
Well, like for this beer, this what is it? The Blackout Stout.
Mm-hmm.
I paid $13.99 plus 40 cents.
Yeah, see, for us down here, that's actually about 10 for a 4-pack.
But
Yeah.
Yeah.
$12.99 for the Oscar Blues 1050 Bourbon Barrel Stout, 12.9%. And I was going to do a review of it tonight after we get done on this channel, but I think I may save it tomorrow night because it's going to get a little bit nippy down here in Mobile. It's supposed to be in the
And it's Friday night.
yeah.
It's Friday night.
And there you go.
Yeah, Dave. Yeah, my buddy Dave had that on our channel one night, and I tried some of that barrel aged version. It reminds the 1050 and that beer, but even the barrel age is a little bit scarier because you can taste almost none of the alcohol in that beer, and you forget that
dangerous.
there's even that high of alcohol in that damn beer.
Yeah.
Right.
It's a dangerous beer.
Absolutely, in a nice way. If you're at home on a Friday night, Sean.
Yeah.
Yep. There
But
you go. Again,
But what I wanted to say was really quickly was it. Yeah, exactly. Was kind of what Rajay was kind of saying. Here's an example of that. Well, should you go online and try to export a whole bunch of, like, say, West Latran 12 from Belgium and pay whatever price that you're going to pay for the beer and the insurance on the beer and the shipping on the beer, and it may even get caught up in customs? Or is St. Bernardus App 12 the same beer, basically? And does it would it taste basically the same? Would you get basically the same experience without having to go through the whole importing and shipping price for it?
Yeah.
You make that decision and call.
I'm not even going to go there. Really not even going to go there. It is night and day between the States and Canada.
We've got an opinion.
Well, let me put it to you this way. You're talking about the barrel-aged 50-50. 50-50 here for the non-barrel-aged 4-pack, $22 Canadian.
Wow.
That just gives you an idea of what the price difference is. There's an Apothec, I think it is out of Oregon, $50 to $59 a bottle.
Wow.
Yeah, I would not drink that in Canada. No.
No. But I mean, you look at Jordan, he reviewed one of them. That was a $62 bottle.
That's $60 bottle, he said, yeah.
Yep. So I mean, it comes down to where you are. Like I would love to go down to the States, grab a whole shitload of beer and bring it back up, and it'd be cheaper than anything else. Oh, and fill up on gas too.
Yeah. Well, it depends on. Like I said, it always depends on your options, because, like, if you can get one of your rotation, like I said, you get a few places in rotation, but if you can get one that does like wholesale closeouts, that's huge. Like for me, one of my places, I get stuff at $12.99 a case of some of their beers. So, you know, I can stack up very nicely for a seller if they're the right type of beers and stuff. Sometimes you have to wait to find out what you can actually get, but there's some pretty good deals. You know, I got 1906 Reserva Especial out of Spain before for $12.99 a case. Guinness Foreign Extra Stout, $12.99 a case. It's all these different types of stuff that I got in there, and
they're trying to get rid of all their stuff so they can bring in the new shit, man. Sometimes some of that stuff may be out of date, you know, guys. You know?
Yeah, you always have to look at dates, but then again, the more you know about the beers, you know what you can sell or not. So
there you go.
Coming in the winter, and we go into spring, there'll be beers that'll be put in there that'll be like 8-9%, and I can sell her and be good to go and save a bunch of savings on it. So because I can drink a stout all year round, that's not a problem for me. So yeah, but cool. Well, anybody want to sign off and everything? And
I probably have to because I've got to go pick up my fiance and it's snowing outside, so I get to drive in the snow.
Be careful, Dan. Be careful.
Yes,
I think what's going to happen to us tomorrow.
then you come home and you shower beer, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Bush Light. Bush Light.
When it comes to Bush, there is no light.
No.
It's just Harry.
Bump.
Harry and the Hendersons.
No Harry here.
Anyways, folks, I got to get going. Yeah, I got to go pick up the fiance. And thank you for having me on for a second week in a row. Unfortunately, I won't be back next week. Week after, I will be.
Okay.
All right, Dan. Take it easy, man.
Your channel
Yeah.
set off?
My channel, obviously, Booze Reviews CA on YouTube and boozereviewsca.ca if you can find me anywhere.
Yeah,
from
you're
that-
the good stuff on Twitter, so good stuff there too.
Oh, God, do I ever have a lot of stuff on Twitter?
Yeah.
Dan, you got a YouTube channel?
I do. It's Booze Reviews CA. Let me just see if I can pull it up
CAA.
now.
Okay.
Actually,
.ca, right?
is it .ca or is it? I can't remember.
I think it's
Booze Reviews CA.
boostereviews.ca.
It's CA.
Oh, it is CA.
No dot on this one.
No dot.
YouTube.ca.
Eric, I actually follow you because I've been watching your whole thing about the Lions versus Seattle, and I'm very sorry for this week.
I think they're going to get blown out, man.
Seattle is, not going there.
I'll tell you, and I don't mean to kind of go off on a tangent here, but this organization has a cloud of mediocrity around it.
Yeah. Well, nothing like Cleveland now. They're better off.
I don't know,
Or
man.
the Buffalo Bills.
I'm telling you, I honestly don't know, Rod.
There's a lot of imitation of a Lions fan on the plane. We're going to land.
We can go off topic on that.
We're going to land.
Well, Matthew Stafford needs help. That's all I got to say. He can't do it all himself.
It would have been nice. It
Jimmy
would have been nice
Garoppolo.
if Calvin would have been there this year.
It's true. No, it's true. So no,
You got no running back. It makes it harder.
it's going to be an interesting game, that's for sure.
Yeah.
So
I'll
no, I
be
just
surprised if they win because it'll be our second playoff win in 50 years.
geez, I bet you're going to get real drunk if that happens.
Oh, yeah, I'll be having me about 8 of these.
Blackout.
You getting drunk either way.
Blackout.
And I'm going to get drunk if they lose, okay?
That's the late game Saturday on NBC, and I don't know what NBC is in Canada, but you know.
Oh, you know what?
Well, actually, I'm supposed to do a collaboration with somebody out in Seattle about the game.
Oh, well, that's
Okay.
pretty cool.
You gonna do it on Facebook
A
Live?
Seahawks fan of all.
Are you going to be live in the game?
Pardon me?
Going to go live during the game?
It's going to be post game.
Oh, you should do it during the game. Got to play by play.
I know.
That's all right. You're talking to a Seahawks fan here from the West Coast. I got to support the boys.
That will be a better game that Saturday. That Oakland Houston game looks pretty crappy to me.
The Seahawks, they're going to be hurt without Lockett, though.
Hey, John, who do you like in Alabama and Clemson?
All right, I got to go, guys. I'll
Right
see you
now,
later.
I
All right,
think-
Danny boy.
All right, see you,
All right,
Dan.
Dan, be good, man.
What's that,
Right
John?
now, I would say, even though the point spread has Bama, I think Clemson might get them this year. I think that I like their chances. I think
I'm
after
hoping
last
for
year's game, I think it's going to be a shootout again, like it was last year, and I kind of like Clemson's chances. I think what they did to Ohio State, how they stopped their defense, even though Ohio State's defense may not have been as good this year compared to the previous years under Urban Meyer, but still beating
Yeah,
Urban Meyer's
shutout
defense.
First shutout ever for Urban Meyer.
Yeah,
Just look how close it was against Michigan.
Yeah.
yeah. I
And they
think
should
that
have
should
kicked
give.
Michigan's ass, in my
They
opinion.
should have-
agree.
That first down, we don't get into that.
Yeah.
First down!
Well, we got a bye week. We're the
And,
effing Patriots. We got
yeah.
effing Tom Brady, so suck it.
Sorry, John, I
everybody.
didn't mean to blow your
No. But all I will say all I say about that first down, if that game was at Michigan Stadium in Ann Arbor, that would have been reversed and given to Michigan. But the game was at Ohio Stadium,
Yeah.
Horseshoe. So there you go. But
Saying a little home cooking.
there you go. There you go. But
One of these days, I'm going to make it down to Columbus and watch an Ohio State-Michigan game, even though I'm going to get harassed like hell.
Yeah, I want to get to the shoe at some point. I've never been, but it'd be cool. It's a cool game to go to. Ann Arbor's a sweet stadium now.
yeah. I think Clemson may have a chance to beat them. But like I said, I grew up an NFL fan. You know, I like college football, but I'm more of an NFL fan than a college fan. So, as you can see by my hat, I'm looking forward to Sunday afternoon,
Yeah, that's what it's saying.
3:40 Central Time, Packers and G-Men.
I was going to
You're
say,
gonna
Who
get
do you
screwed
like,
by
the
the
Packers?
Packers.
Of course, I'm pulling for my G-Men. What do you think?
I know,
I
man.
think-
I had to ask.
I don't care what the weather. I think we beat them already in Green Bay twice. Championship game in 2008,
Yep.
and then of course we played them again when we went on to the Super Bowl in 2012. So against the Pats.
Let's
Right,
not talk
Eric?
about that goddamn Super
Yeah,
Bowl
Eric.
right now.
Eric was going to say he's got the
What he
week
said.
off because of the Pats. I say, well, the
Yes,
Pats are in
Super
good
Bowl
shape.
47. Yes,
Pats are in good
that's
shape
Super Bowl.
unless they meet the Giants because Eli has
No, 46. Excuse me.
Yeah,
I
we're
think it's the
fucking
Seahawks and the
screwed if we
Giants
gotta.
this weekend.
We're screwed if we gotta play the Giants in the Super Bowl. We have a curse against us.
Yeah. Well, Bill Belichick
Something
can't
crazy
videotape
like
their
that.
practices.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Whoa.
Gino.
Brady will pull some magic out of his ass here.
Yeah.
You know that's the one
If you
team
want to
that-
pull something
Bill
out of his
Brady-
ass,
Bill
be my
Brady
guest.
wants to beat that team now. That's the one team Brady wants to get in the Super Bowl was beat them.
Yes, he
Yep.
does. Yes, he
Bill
does.
Belichick and bend over. Yeah.
And you know what though? The Giants do play the Patriots. There'll be some miraculous catch during the game. The last two Super
Yeah, that
Bowls.
Julian Edelman won't catch.
He caught it. On
Okay, enough of that.
He caught
As I say, you know what? As I say on my beer review channel, keep tasting those great beers. Cheers. I'll talk to you Giants fans later.
All right.
Yeah. We'll
All
go ahead
right.
and-
I'm out of here too, guys. Let me go ahead
right,
and
see
shut
you,
it
man.
down myself.
Wait, I got something for you guys.
Okay.
All right, a gift. Yes, it works now. Oh,
Never gonna
stop.
give you up,
Little
never
thing.
gonna let you down.
Since we started with Rick Astley, we'll go out with Rick Astley.
Rickroll me.
Rick Astley?
Can you guys still hear me?
I
I don't know
still
if it
hear
works
you.
with the mic.
Yes.
Okay, cool. So thanks again for swinging by to check out another week. And this is the new format. So this is a week in review as we discuss some of the beers. Thanks again to everybody that joined. Eric and Eric, Gene, Dan. Next week it'll be probably these same four guys, but more people on the panel. You never know.
Oh, yeah.
Make sure you dial in every Thursday, 8 Eastern. We'll be back to talk more beer at that time. Keep drinking good craft beers. Check out my website, rodjbeerventures.com, and cheers.
Go Lions!